What does your favorite fighter say about you? What if I told you that your favorite fighter says a lot about how you watch the sport and the opinions you have? What if I told you that your favorite fighter was a direct indication of what type of fan you are? Casual, hardcore, delusional. There's so many different opinions and types of fans in the community, but your favorite fighter or favorite fighters definitely plays a big role in the type of fan you are. So in this video, we're going to be breaking down what your favorite fighter says about you. And there's going to be some uncomfortable truths, okay? Don't come at me, all right? I don't make the rules, all right? I just tell the truth. We'll start with one of the biggest names in the sport, arguably the GOAT, Jon Jones. Now, if you're a Jon Jones fan, you are an Olympic gold medal level mental gymnast, all right? The gymnastics that you have to do to explain how he's the GOAT despite so many failed PED tests and other transgressions outside the cage. You have elaborate explanations as to why all of these different things that happen to him outside the octagon, even with the drug test set aside, why those don't affect his legacy. Whether it's hitting the pregnant lady and running away, whether it's getting the cops called on him by his daughters for allegedly beating up their mother in front of them.
18405, how may I help you?
Hey, this is Eduardo with Caesars Public Security.
Hi.
Hey, we've got a possible DV call, domestic violence call. Female is bleeding from the nose and mouth.
Do you know where this happened at?
We believe it happened in the room.
Do you know what room?
6716. So she's not admitting to any domestic violence, any physical violence. But I mean, she's bleeding from the nose and mouth. She's down with us while the male is up at the room. And he's actually a professional MMA fighter, Jonathan Jones.
You said he's a professional MMA fighter?
Yeah, Jon Jones.
Whether it's driving around the city of Albuquerque, firing a gun into the air and offering alcohol to homeless people. You guys forgot about that one, huh? Whether it's claiming to be very pro law enforcement and very pro first responder, but then being a total asshole to cops every single time that he has a run-in that he caused.
He's like 6.
Dude, I saw that pop up.
But he's
like professional.
But I was like, I bet you it's Jon Jones.
You fucking.
Wow. Oh, hang me, hurt me, and kill me. What did I do? Thank you. My fault. A black man can't drink. Getting elected into the Hall of Fame, and now this is what I got. You fucking cracker! You fucking cracker!
Relax. You alright? Relax. You have anything in your pockets, man?
What did I do?
It's okay if we
What did I do? You fucking cracker! I fucking other prison fucking officers. I fucking hate you. I hate you. I fucking hate you. No, please don't. Okay, that's breathe, bro.
You're also convinced that all of those old, undersized, overweight middleweights that he beat for the first 10 years of his career at light heavyweight are elite competition because Shogun Hua was a marauder and Rashad Evans would be a UFC championship level fighter in this generation. Absolutely not. Somehow you find a way to say with a straight face that Jon Jones beat Dominic Reyes. You use "but he's the GOAT" at the end of all of your arguments, and you found a way to justify and explain his disgusting ducking of the interim champion Tom Aspinall as some sort of brilliant strategic strategy, which doesn't make any fucking sense. So let me know in the comments how you Jon Jones fans think that him ducking Tom Aspinall is some sort of great strategy and he's a genius. No, he's trying to fleece the UFC for more money. Moving on to Conor McGregor. Now, if you're a Conor McGregor fan, you definitely started watching the sport between like 2013 and 2016 or 17, like post Ronda Rousey era and pre-COVID era. You've memorized and you've practiced every single one of the press conference one-liners, all of his little catchphrases. Your wife is in me DMs. All of those You have a little database in your head, just like I do, of all the sayings to whip out in conversation, meme lore, and all that stuff. And you definitely have some sort of roundabout way of saying that somehow every accusation that's ever been leveled against Conor is inaccurate. And you definitely think that he's going to be president of Ireland despite having next to no support in Ireland. Moving on from there, if you're an Alex Pereira fan, you'll definitely say Shama like 57 times a day in the mirror, after you brush your teeth, after you finish a set at the gym, when your food's done in the microwave, Shama. Any grappling by his opponents makes you say that they're scared, that they're not a real fighter because they don't want to stand and bang with Alex Pereira. And you've definitely done his march, arrow shooting, and walkout punches in the mirror a bunch of times. And you have an unreasonable hatred for Adesanya. Like, there's a lot of valid hate towards Adesanya, but the Alex Pereira fans, the poetards, as some people have called them, have an unreasonable and undying hate for Israel Adesanya. Moving on from there to the Dagestanis, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Islam Makhachev, and the rest of the Dagestani fighters. If you're a fan of them, you definitely don't think it's a big deal that they marry their cousins. You sit there and you go, well, just how distant of a cousin? Or just how bad is it? How many cousins? Is it fourth cousin? Is it second cousin? Is it first cousin? And then you sit there and you go, well, if it's third cousin, it's not as bad as second cousin. And meanwhile, it's an arranged marriage with their sister. You defend all of that. And you just call them so humble. They're just so humble. And in reality, they're some of the most cocky fighters there are. They just don't raise their voice. And for some reason, the fans have dubbed that as humble. When they say just as much disrespectful things, like Ankalaev was just saying that Alex Pereira is going back to the tire shop in his last fight. Now, I'm not saying it's not good trash talk. I'm just saying enough with this humble bullshit just because they mumble like Hasbullah. You defend all of their boring decisions. You say that it's called domination, not boring, all right? You've practiced all of the Islamic sayings, Alhamdulillah, Inshallah, Assalamu alaikum, all that. You've repeated those in the mirror, and you sit there going like this when Islam Makhachev walks out. You believe wrestling and Sambo is just the purest form of combat. You know, oh yeah, Sambo. Nobody can compete with Sambo. Well, nobody can compete with Russian PEDs, all right? Especially when Islam and Umar have been on special vitamins since they were 10 years old. And you definitely think that Khabib is the GOAT, despite running from tons of major upcoming competition. Now, if you're a Belal Muhammad fan, this is I don't even know if these exist. I don't even know if I need to go over this. But if you're a Belal Muhammad fan and you can remember his name.
Security doesn't know he's the champ. Let him in.
The security doesn't know he's the champ. Look at the state of this cunt. The security doesn't know he's the champ. I'm not surprised, motherfucker. Oh, mate. He is an ass, I think. I'm excited for... Shut your mouth, you little dope. You barely got into the ring. They don't even know you were the champion. Tick. Who's this f***ing guy? Who the f*** is that guy to security's edge, yeah?
You definitely say that finishes are overrated, and it takes real skill to win every fight by decision. You believe that finishes are totally overrated. You have told so many of your friends how much you like Belal Muhammad, and they say, who? And you go, Belal Muhammad, remember the name? And they say, who? And then you lose your mind and watch the fights by yourself because you have no friends because you're a Belal Muhammad fan. Definitely say that fence wrestling and control time is super underrated. And that's real combat, is holding someone up against the cage while you knee them in the thigh. Shout out to Ankalaev. Moving on from there, if you are a Charles Oliveira fan, you have practiced your champion has a name, and his name is Charles Oliveira speech, probably 57, 58, 59 times. You believe the scale was rigged in Arizona when he lost the belt against Justin Gaethje despite winning the fight. You're saying that Islam Makhachev is running from a rematch with him, and you definitely say that he beat Arman Tsarukyan at UFC 300. If you're an Israel Adesanya fan, I mean, this is a weird one. You're definitely convinced that he outstruck Jan Blachowicz and beat Jan Blachowicz when he moved up for double champ status. You have some sort of like, I don't care what they do outside of the cage type of explanation to him having a literal fetish for dogs. So, I mean, you can see the MMA Guru video about it. He literally, in my opinion, has an affliction for canines. And you ignore all of his race baiting comments, the fact that he got booed over being a relative weirdo and having a fetish for dogs at UFC 293. And then he went on Ariel Helwani's show and said that Australian fans and New Zealand fans are racist. The same fans that supported him in his come up, they're racist. And you definitely think that he won the rivalry with Alex Pereira because he won the last of 4 fights, so he got the last laugh. Now, if you're a Sean O'Malley fan, you're definitely between 15 and 21 years old. You're probably watching Nelk Boys content before and after this video, and you're probably wearing a Happy Dad hat right now and also during the fights and at every social outing. You own at least 3 different types of vapes. You have a favorite brand, you have a favorite flavor, you have a favorite flavor of Zyn, and you definitely post on your story when a Sean O'Malley fight gets announced, time for the Sugar Show. You have some sort of argument as to how he actually won 3 rounds against Merab in their first fight. Definitely you watch every single Nelk Boys vlog. Now, if you're a Nate Diaz fan, you're probably smoking this very second. You probably watch fights like 3 times a year, but you act as if you watch every card. Definitely practice the middle finger and the Nate Diaz stance in the mirror. You've said "I'm not surprised, motherfuckers" about 2,000 times in your life. You think that jiu-jitsu and cardio and volume punches is the key to becoming a world-class MMA fighter. And you believe that Nate Diaz could beat everybody from Khamzat Chimaev to Kamaru Usman to GSP. The list goes on.
Yeah, I mean,
who's the champion of my weight class? 55 and 70.
55's Khabib.
Okay.
70's Kamaru Usman.
Okay.
I mean, it'd be nice.
I feel like I'm just better and cooler than those guys. What the hell do I want to fight them for?
We love the Diaz fan base, but their takes are unserious. Now, if you're a Michael Chandler fan, if you're a Michael Chandler fan, you're definitely a Conor McGregor hater, I'd say. You have a Google alert set up for Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler updates. You're the only person in your friend group that thinks that Michael Chandler has had a good UFC run because he KO'd Dan Hooker and Tony Ferguson. You like all of his posts. You draw motivation from him saying corny things while he's in an ice bath. And you still believe that the Conor McGregor fight's going to happen. Now, if you're an Ilia Topuria fan, you were definitely like a soccer fan or an F1 racing fan until he beat Volk to become champ. You suddenly became interested in Spanish culture and all the things involved. You're talking about the UFC needs to go to Bernabeu. They need, you know who plays there? They need to sell out a stadium show. You find a way to justify his tattoos being the exact same as Conor McGregor's. You make arguments as to them being coincidences and all of that. And you definitely think that his lame new nickname, La Leyenda, is super sick. Now, if you're a Dustin Poirier fan, you definitely have the Poirier's hot sauce in your pantry or fridge right now. You put it on everything. You think that it makes you tougher because if you're a Dustin Poirier fan or a Justin Gaethje fan, you value brain damage over strategy. You say, don't be silly, jump the ghillie. Basically all the time. You probably have it tatted on you like Chris Duncan just got it. You believe that technical fighting is boring. You want to watch a bar fight, which to be fair, we all do to a certain degree. You think that bloody faces equal good fights, which, hey, I'm not hating. They're more entertaining than some of the technical shit we see. And you idolize the fact that they are a fighter's fighter, which I do too. I'm not going to say a bunch of negative shit about Justin or Dustin because they are 2 of my favorite fighters. Now, moving on from there, the Australian fighters, all right? This is Australian, not New Zealand, because Adesanya is from New Zealand or like China or something. But Australian fighters, Alexander Volkanovski, Jack Della Maddalena, Robert Whittaker. You're probably just a chill, relatable guy. You know what I'm saying? Just a chill guy meme, hands in the pockets. You definitely use Australian lingo like mate and throw it in the bin, not throw it in the trash, or he's binned, things like that. Even though, actually, now that I'm saying this, I know somebody that does this. Interview one Australian fighter, and I guess you're Australian now, right? You started watching fights at bizarre hours to feel connected. You're like, no, I got to watch this at 1 a.m. because this is what they do. And you definitely think that Australia is the hotbed of MMA right now. Now, if you're a Brandon Moreno fan, you're either Hispanic or an adult that likes Legos, and there's literally no in between. You believe the flyweight division deserves more respect, which I actually agree with. And you've tried to copy the hairstyle at least once, and you have a Funko Pop doll of Brandon Moreno that you cuddle with before bed. Holy shit. Now, if you are a Dricus du Plessis or a Tom Aspinall fan, you're almost certainly an MMA Guru subscriber. You actually appreciate witty banter and not just manufactured, get in each other's face and yell at each other for the sake of selling a fight. You can quote some of their interviews verbatim. You can't wait to see Dricus make somebody cry. And you know, you've definitely tried to talk like Tom Aspinall, you know? But to be honest, DDP and Tom Aspinall fans, some of my favorite, also with the Australian fans, mostly pretty chill guys. Jon Jones fans would say differently, but pretty chill guys. Now, what does this say about you, okay? Now, this is mostly lighthearted. I know I was taking a lot of digs at you guys for your favorite fighters, but it's more just to show like the MMA tribalism, like in the fan base, like where we gather around fighters and certain things and certain stances. And the funny part about this is that I basically just roasted or talked shit about every single fighter's fan base. And I'm fans of most of these fighters. So you'll find my opinions sprinkled throughout this video. You know, I'm definitely an Aspinall glazer, nonstop saying that Jon Jones is ducking him. I'm definitely a huge Conor fan. I think he could come back and win a belt. I'm definitely an Ilia Topuria fan. You know, a lot of these guys I'm fans of. I definitely say Shama like in my everyday vocabulary. And I do think that Ankalaev was afraid of Alex Pereira. So again, guys, this is all in fun, some truth, some jokes. But let me know what you guys think down below. Who are your favorite fighters? Who did I miss? And what does it say about their fans? All right. Did you like this video? Then like and subscribe down below. I also do multiple live streams per week, along with behind the scenes content and members only live streams for our channel members. So become a channel member for access to bonus content. It's only $5 per month and it greatly helps the channel's growth. I also do a podcast with my best friend Bo, and I have a non-MMA channel as well called Wyatt's World. You can check both of those out linked below.